Hello and welcome to Breaking Bread with Rivaaj Maharaj, where nothing is off the table. For today's episode, I wanted to talk about the meeting that went on today between Field Marshal Asim Munir of Pakistan and the Saudis regarding the situation with Iran. So without further ado, let's get into it. Pakistani Field Marshal, or as most recognize him, the de facto king or ruler of Pakistan, has flown to Saudi Arabia to attend a meeting with the Saudis. And the purpose of this meeting was that the Iranians, despite having apologized to their Arab neighbors for the week's attacks by Iran on their sovereign territory, almost immediately after those apologies were made, the Iranians then subsequently hit Saudi Arabia, Jordan, I think the UAE, and a few other places with their ballistic missiles. Now, we know that the Pakistanis and the Saudis have signed a mutual defense cooperation treaty. And the purpose of Asim Munir's visit to Saudi was to assure them that Pakistan stands firmly with them and is ready to be mobilized, or their military is ready to be mobilized in the fight against Iran.
Chief of Defence Staff Field Marshal Asim Munir met with Saudi Arabia's Defence Minister to discuss Iranian aggressions towards the kingdom. Top security sources tell CNN News 18 that Field Marshal Munir assured full defence and strategic support to Saudi Arabia, vowing to protect the kingdom against any threats. The leaders also discussed a joint mechanism, strategic framework and cooperation to address the recent Middle East crisis. The Saudi Defense Minister emphasizing the need to counter Iranian attacks under the Joint Strategic Defense Agreement. Pakistan and Saudi Arabia signaled the possibility of a joint military action against Iran.
All right, to discuss this further, I'm now being joined on the broadcast from London, Dr. Kadira Pithiagoda, geopolitics expert and Australian diplomat. Dr. Kadira, thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast. Now, let me just go back to the happenings of today because there is so much to unpack. Let's start somewhere. There was a statement that came in from the Iranian president. He said, okay, we apologize to our neighborly nations and our friendly nations. We should not have attacked them. Soon after that, and I'll quickly go over it, UAE has already been targeted with 16 ballistic missiles, over 120 drones. Iran has hit UAE's Al Dhafra airbase. This is as per reports. Jordan has accused Iran of directly targeting key installations. In the most recent, Saudi airbase has been struck with a missile.
Now, this news is disturbing because there is a sizable Shia population within Pakistan. Not only that, the Pakistanis have consistently tried to sit on the fence regarding this issue. So while they were trying to reassure their public that they would not go to war against the Iranians and that the Israelis and the Americans, the big Satan and the little Satan, have now attacked Iran, they're actually being wedged into a corner by this conflict because the Iranians are now striking targets willy-nilly. As I've said before in my videos, they're behaving in a very random fashion. It's a very haphazard way of entering or of conducting the conflict. And we've come to realize that the reason for this type of behavior is that because the decisions were put in place that should the Ayatollah Khamenei be assassinated, then each of these Iranian ground units would act independently and make decisions independently. So they're all working autonomously of the Iranian state, or whatever semblance is left of the Iranian state. Hence, you find there being this strategy of just bombing willy-nilly with no... It just looks very haphazard and disconnected. It's as I've said before, it's almost like they, they're in a corner and they've got these missiles and they think let's just lob them at anything and everything. The Saudis have now asked the Pakistanis to affirm their commitment to the mutual defense agreement, and that is that is what Asim Munir has now come out and confirmed, that Pakistan will stand by Saudi Arabia. It looks like this war is not going to end anytime soon. I'm still of the opinion that the longer it takes to try and foment some sort of a leadership within the country, the closer the country gets to internal conflict and a more civil war type of situation. I think even if a leader is put into place later rather than sooner, it becomes even more difficult because all these units operating autonomously suddenly then do not want to be reined in, especially by somebody that they do not believe in. And you're going to have splinter groups roaming the country trying to enforce their will. So it remains to be seen what is going to happen. If the Saudis do, in fact, go to war with Iran, then it's going to be on the backs of the Pakistanis. And, if I'm honest, the only thing that the Pakistanis have that is a deterrent to the Iranians is a nuclear weapon. But if the Iranians are in this existential fight and they realize that they have nothing left to fight for, I fear that the Pakistanis are absolutely no match for the IRGC or the Basij. I'll tell you right off the bat, the ISI is a joke compared to the IRGC. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard will eat up the Pakistani military together with their intelligence services for breakfast. The Pakistanis have absolutely nothing. Furthermore, they have no skin in the game. They're not fighting for an existential threat. In order to understand what the Pakistanis are going to be up against, you have to look at it this way. The Iranians are fighting literally for their survival. It's a matter of life or death. The Pakistanis, on the other hand, are soldiers who have no clue why they're being sent to Iran. And if they are Shia soldiers, it's even worse. And they almost like mercenaries being contracted out by their government, because the government contracts them, gets remittances for that, and half that money is first stolen, siphoned off to the UK, the US, and other Western countries, and the balance is then put back into the terrorism that Pakistan is known for fomenting and nurturing within its borders. So, this is not a government with some conviction sending its military to fight on its behalf. This is a government out of greed sending its military like mercenaries to fight so that the government and the military leadership can get some sort of financial gain and reward from this. You have to understand, the Pakistani government and the Pakistani military and the ISI, they do not look at their people as people. They look at them as cannon fodder. It's equivalent to what Stalin did to his population when the Germans and the Wehrmacht was marching onto the Soviet Union. When Stalin realized he had purged so many of his generals and he had nothing to offer except these millions of people, that he saw them as cannon fodder. And he said to them, you go to the front and you die at the front, because if you come back, I will kill you. And the Pakistanis are none the better. They're just not going to kill them when they come back. They're sending these people to certain death. But it's not certain death because of something they believe in. It's certain death of their people, something they care, the people that they care less about. as long as this government and this military and intelligence apparatus is going to receive money, they don't care about their people. So it's only a matter of time before things escalate to the next level. We're keeping a close eye on this and we'll keep you informed. I want to thank you for joining us on this episode. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, as it helps us with the algorithm and it helps our channel to grow.